Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're doing another movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's powering up with me tonight?
This is Joe Butler, and I have a new form that y'all would be surprised about.
This is Barry from Premium Edition Games and Nintendo Fuse, and you have a new form. I also have a new form, because everyone gets new forms now.
And this is Mario from Bias Gaming, and forms are kind of overrated for me.
You just absorb somebody else and get their power, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Just don't eat all the pudding.
Oh, I love the pudding.
I actually just had some pudding right before recording this.
No.
I had to. It's
That's fair.
for Lord Beerus.
No, the best way for pudding is in the donut, dude.
Donut pudding.
And Joe, what are we talking about, and why?
Today, we are talking about Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods that were released in March 30th, 2013, which is weird because I blame COVID. I remember this movie came out a lot later, but, who really cares? And we're talking about it just because I feel like we should do some kind of Dragon Ball Z kick, and also Akira Toryiama died.
A few months ago. That's what it just took me a couple months to get around to this, finally, because I schedule far in advance.
No, it's fine. It's the perfect time because everything's at least easily accessible and all that other stuff now.
For the most part, this wasn't streamable. I couldn't buy it on Amazon. That upset me. So I'm like, I'll just buy it on Amazon. It's like, nope, you won't. And I could have bought a DVD, yes, but I wanted to buy it digitally and just buy it on Amazon, and I couldn't.
Okay, one day they'll re-release the Digimon the movie back in America, and I will be the first one to buy that.
They are releasing that on Blu-ray. They're doing all three movies put together properly.
And the original American dub.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but there's no release date out for it yet, I think. So
I did the weird thing and bought it on PSN like 5 years ago, before they took down their TV and videos app.
Oh.
I'm assuming you still have access to it, right?
Oh yeah, that's how I watched it.
Okay, good. I don't trust when companies.
Yeah.
No, I own like 20 movies on there I bought them right before PSN's PS Video and store shut down. Because there was like a huge sale, so I got all the John Wicks, I got all the Aliens, Resident Evils, and the Dragon Ball movies before Super.
I almost bought this physical but I didn't really want to spend $26 on a Blu-ray when I looked, and now found the DVD for $10. But like, I would have bought that because I wouldn't have mind owning this actually instead of watching it on YouTube.
I might buy the other ones. Like I said, the Brawly one's pretty good. So.
Oh, Brawly's great.
So I always like to start with our history of something or memories of this. For this, I thought I saw this at a friend's house, and I remember seeing it, but then when I watched this movie, I realized I'd never seen this movie before. So I know I went to the friend's house because he had animals, and I saw animals, but I think either he put the movie on and we watched like 10 minutes of it and then went off to do something else, or I just was watching Super. Yeah, it wasn't this. So that's my history with this movie. I never saw it. I'm also not a big DBZ fan. I'm on a kick right now, but usually I'm not a big DBZ fan. What about you, Joe?
DBZ means a lot to me. Back when I was a sweet little baby, along with my sister, she's my cousin, but she's my best friend, so I call her my sister. And we used to come home every day and watch Dragon Ball Z. And I remember very vividly being like 8 years old and having to be like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then go in the bathroom and hearing my sister screaming that Goku was going Super Saiyan. So I had to hurry up, no wash hands, and vault over my couch. But yeah, I also don't remember watching this, but I have vivid memories. And I think we talked about it earlier. I'm pretty sure I think whenever this came out, I didn't really give a shit because it was 2013. And eventually they're like, oh, we're starting off Super from where like the movie started. So I was like, oh, what's Super then? And then Super isn't good for like those first 2 seasons. So I stopped giving a shit.
Oh, what about you, Barry?
Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are very important to me as well. They were my childhood, and I had the Ocean dub, the original dub, which of course stopped midway through the Namek and the Ginyu saga, and then restarted. And that was a day I remember screaming so loud when it went from the middle of the Ginyu fights back to Raditz appearing. And I'm like, wait, what? What happens next? Because that's all they dubbed back originally in America. And Toonami just repeated it because it wasn't popular enough. And of course it was a censored version. I was like, oh my God, what happens? What's going to happen? I don't know. And I had to wait forever to finally see new. Like, I remember even like Garlic Jr. being a big deal during the summer, like the Garlic Jr. saga, new episodes. I'm like, oh my God, yes, even though it's obviously filler. But when this movie came out, I didn't see it in theaters, and it was like a limited event, but I did get the Blu-ray right away, and I watched it, and I loved it. And I was just so happy. I was like starved for new Dragon Ball. And my wife was never into Dragon Ball. And someone told her, like, oh, you should try this movie. It's good. So this was actually the movie that my wife was first introduced to Dragon Ball. I rewatched it. And she loved it and said, yeah, like, let's watch the series. So we started with Dragon Ball Z. And we ended it, the whole series. We did Kai, except for the Buu saga, because the Kai Buu didn't exist at the time. And I said, what'd you think? She's like, I loved it, but I was mad. I'm like, why? She's like, where's Beerus? I love Beerus. Where's Beerus? And I'm like, oh, well, Beerus is introduced in that movie, which comes after. And the whole time she was watching the whole series waiting for Beerus to show up. And, of course, he doesn't appear in Z. I was like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. So, naturally, she loved Super for that reason alone. But, yeah, it's a great movie. And I'm very thankful because it got my wife into the series. And she's seen everything now.
All right. And Mario.
So my history with Dragon Ball Z is, from what I remember, I watched it at my aunt's house, but I did not understand it because it was only in Spanish on Channel 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
But when it comes to the movie, I saw it actually in theaters. I only remember that because I saw it in theaters because I went with my friend and we had just graduated high school. And I thought this movie was, at the time, I thought it was, wow, this is crazy. They're finally going with it. And then Super came out. And I wasn't a fan anymore.
Man, you guys need to give Super a chance.
It's funny though because I saw the movies but then I met my wife later on, and then I got her into Dragon Ball because of the British stuff, and then she watched Super because I was watching it because she was bored, and she goes, "Who's the purple guy?" And it's funny that you said your wife loved Beerus because that's the main reason why she likes Dragon Ball now, is because of Beerus.
That's awesome. Beerus is a good character.
Yes.
I also like to state that I never said Super was bad. I just said the first 2 seasons are boring. Super is actually incredibly amazing in that final fight scene is like the best Dragon Ball Z's ever done.
Yes, I will agree with that.
And we have a new challenger that joined us.
Hello. My Skype finally let me log in.
And what is your name, sir?
My name is John.
And welcome. And what is your DBZ history or history with this film?
Oh boy. I've seen all of Dragon Ball. The majority of Z. I've never seen Z all the way through. And this film, I believe this is my second time watching it, I think. I believe I watched it when Resurrection F came out because I had never seen Battle of Gods. And so when Resurrection F came out, I was like, well, I probably need to watch Battle of Gods. So I back-to-back both of them. And then I've seen bits and pieces of Super. I'm on the Super is aggressively okay train.
You missed our whole conversation about about Super earlier.
Yes,
off the recording, I think.
The Goku Black arc is my favorite arc by a lot.
So I
have to agree with that.
A funny story I forgot to add in this. Like, I was not a DBZ fan, but before I met my wife, I went into this phase where I watched all of Dragon Ball Z with the movies up until I got to the Android saga, I think when Cell first appears, and I met her, so I just kind of stopped watching. Because I really wasn't into Dragon Ball Z. I mean, I watched it off and on when I was a kid. But like when this movie came out, not this movie, but when Resurrection X was coming out in theaters, I remember talking to people about Super and talking to people about this movie where I worked at a Sam's Club. Because it was all the rage at that time.
Yeah. At that point, like Super and Dragon Ball were, because, they were back for the first time in, 20 years?
Yeah, because this is the movie that really launches Dragon Ball Z back again.
Yes.
Yeah,
well, you could make an argument that was Dragon Ball Evolution, but because that's why this exists. But
yes, I know, but this movie, yes, I mean but this movie launched the franchise again. Like this was a big turning point. I remember people were so excited. Like for me, Dragon Ball Z had never really stopped because I didn't really care about it. I always thought, okay, Dragon Ball Z, it's still around, but
well, yeah, and we also love it or hate it. We had GT.
I love GT. Oh,
yeah, GT's not bad.
I, as of right now, as someone who has not watched GT in 15-something years, I like GT more than Super.
Wow.
I like Super better, but I mean, GT was always Goku time. That's the biggest problem with GT.
GT, it would probably change if I went and watched it today. And GT probably does not hold up. But
see, you mentioned about this movie jumpstarting Dragon Ball again, and while yes, it did that, I feel more so for America because we Japan did have like Son Goku and his friends return back in 2008 and stuff. We never got that, and I think there was another one that we got included on Raging Blast 2. That was a special, and like it's so weird.
It was Eradication of the Saiyans.
Yeah, Eradication of the Super Saiyans. So but that was the only way we got it in America. That was never released like on a Blu-ray or anything like that for everybody else, and it was just so weird that they chose to do that. So Dragon Ball, Battle of Gods was like in America was a big jumpstart for us, and for Japan it was just like, oh yeah, that's all they're doing now. Every few years they're putting out a special. It's nothing new for them.
I will say the same thing about GT. I said about Super. I can tolerate the 2/3 of both series.
Okay,
Really?
That is, yeah.
Looking back at it,
That's
I agree with that.
That's probably
Yeah,
where I am. But like, the last half is the good part.
Yeah, that first season is awful when they try to make it like Dragon Ball, but once the Dark Dragons and the baby stuff hits, it is the perfect fucking series. And I think someone said it earlier, but I also agree. Super Saiyan 4 is the most perfect Super Saiyan form to date still.
Super Saiyan 4 was great.
Super Saiyan 4 is cool.
Well, you have to remember when they started Dragon Ball GT, they wanted to harken back to Dragon Ball, and the first 16 episodes I think was like lighthearted comedic and all, and it wasn't working, and they immediately were like, screw that, let's introduce Baby, and that's when it started getting good. And when it released in America, if you remember, those 16 episodes were actually not brought over originally. It started right when it gets good with Baby in America, and then they ran out of episodes, so they decided to bring back those 16 and call them like the lost episodes because they just needed content. Why not? Let's just dub it.
Oh.
That theme song was awesome, though.
Oh no, not the American ones. It was terrible. Terrible.
Pump into the Grand Tour. Grand Tour.
Yes.
I will fight for Grand Tour.
Okay, fine. It was annoyingly catchy. How about that?
Same as the One Piece opening.
It was terrible. All the American openings were terrible. Let's be honest. Except for Super, where they just did an English translation of the Japanese theme. That was good.
Wait a minute. Are you saying all the Dragon Ball Z English openings are bad?
Yes. Well, okay, it's iconic, but compared to the American one or to the Japanese one, it pales in comparison.
I don't know if I can agree with that because I love Rock the Dragon.
Dude, yes.
Rock the Dragon is good, but compared to the original theme of the Japanese, come on. Japanese theme is so
I mean, I like them both, but I don't know. I have a soft spot for Rock the Dragon.
They even showed movie clips in the opening because they didn't know what the hell they were doing back then.
My favorite Dragon Ball Z opening is the opening to Yu Yu Hakusho.
So one thing I do want to say like about this movie that I realize that I really like is like in the opening of this movie, it does a nice like recap of telling you what happened with Dragon Ball Z. So if you are a new customer, you get stuff that you wouldn't know.
I would actually love to see Dragon Ball like redrawn like that too. It actually looks great.
I mean, they do a good job of like this being a very good jumping on point for new fans.
Absolutely.
It gets you caught up, even though he didn't kill Cell when he takes him there, but that's fine. And you get, and they condense the Blue Saga the way it should be. One little quick thing and it's over. So, don't like the Blue Saga, by the way.
Really?
I think it's terrible.
It's hit and miss for most people. Did you know, Mike, that this still takes place, as of still right now, too, as well? Dragon Ball Super still takes place before GT.
So it takes place before the end of Z.
Well, it's possible that it does.
No, it definitely takes place before the end of Z.
Oh, yeah, it does take place before the end of Z, too. That's right. That's what I'm thinking. I keep forgetting that that's not part of GT.
No, like the last few episodes, like I think the last 4 episodes is a time jump or whatever.
Yeah, with blue shirt Goku and Pan is like as a 5-year-old. Because as of far, I think Pan's like 8 or 5 at the end of Dragon Ball Z. And I think the oldest she gets in Superhero is like, I think 5, maybe even 3.
Yeah.
Also, when did Emperor Pilaf, like he hasn't been around in Z for a long time, right?
He wasn't around in Z at all.
Okay.
No.
He was in Dragon Ball.
He was in Dragon Ball. He was the main antagonist.
Yes.
And
he was in GT.
He was in GT as well at the very beginning.
Yes.
But they don't even show the wish in Super, do they?
They explain it, and they only explain it in a special manga release. Is literally it. That's the only way they explain it.
I feel like that is a jab at them wishing Goku back as a kid in GT. Is like, we're just going to make them kids as like punishment for what they did in GT.
I don't like Pilaf. I mean, he works in this movie because of him is what sets everything in motion, essentially. But I just don't like him.
It's okay. It's okay, Mike. They have Pilaf there because way wait till you see what happens to what's her face later on in Super.
Mia or Maya.
Why?
Yeah, wait till you see what happens to Mai later in Super.
Oh, she's such a good character, though.
Mai is like I'm a Mai defender of what they're doing with Mai and Super right now.
One of his lackeys, one of he loves
The female.
Oh,
lackey.
the girl. Okay.
Yeah, the
one who shoots Gohan with a real gun, and like kids shouldn't have real guns.
When we get to that point in the actual plot, there's something my wife wants me to say because she noticed it, and it was very creepy when you really think about it. About Mai.
I think I know what it is, and trust me, if you think about that, it's creepier in the manga.
The fact that she's 41.
No, but she kept saying it. She goes, it's creepy, right? I go, wait, what? Yeah, because she's technically mentally this age, but she's young. And she said the worst thing ever. She goes, it's a pedophile's dream.
So I understand that, but they do explain it sort of like, yes, they have the memories of their older selves, but they are actually regressed back to children. So they are not still like, they have the memories, but they are not mentally still adults they have the memories and the motivations.
It's the same way that Goku in GT, when he's, revert back, he's pretty much like, there's so many times Pan has to be the adult in the situation with Goku in GT for that very reason.
Well, they also kind of tease it in the movie too, because there's times where they're like, why are you flustered and why are you guys acting weird? And it's like, yeah, because they didn't think they would still act like children. And I guess it's a good way to explain what the consequences of a wish of wishing to be younger. It's kind of like the idea of, I think, maybe one of the knockoff Dragon Ball Z movies say it, but it's like the idea of like wishing to be immortal, but you didn't wish to stay the same age, so you'll be like 1,000 and look like a skeleton.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Also, why did Pilaf blush? That's my question.
Pilaf's a goofball.
Yeah, he's comedic relief.
He blushed big time.
I mean, hey, he's the reason the plot goes on, and because it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have Videl, right? That's Gohan's wife.
Yeah.
Her get shot, you wouldn't have. God, I am terrible with names. See, I couldn't watch this with subtitles because YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? The green Namek?
Just like mentioned, I know the character. Just mention him. I will tell you here.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Little Green.
I know what he looks
Little
like.
Green.
Little Green.
Little green guy.
Only the guardian of the earth right now,
Not my guardian. Because I didn't watch this far. Wait, where is Kami?
Not my Lord
Kami
and
is
Savior.
absorbed into Piccolo.
Oh, yeah, that
back
happened
in the Cell Saga.
Oh, that's why.
They refused, so they needed a new guardian to make the new Dragon Balls, so they got Dende from Namek to come over and be it.
Wasn't everybody else dead?
Dende.
No, everyone else isn't dead.
Also, a Fat Boo is, for some reasons, dating Mr. Hercule. But you know what? That's not really an important...
They're not dating. They're just best friends.
That is his boyfriend. He tells him not to do things and slaps his hand away, just like my husband does to me. So there's...
And I don't know what Ox King is doing, but I have a feeling he's on some weird clubs.
Yes. Nothing
that outfit's amazing.
Movie. Nothing more sexier in this movie than Ox King fan service.
Yes.
Talk about a character that regressed. Ox King, when you first meet him, was terrifying. And then by the end of Dragon Ball, he started becoming a goofball. And then in Z, he got worse and worse. Like he is nothing like his original incarnation and how everyone was terrified of him. And everyone seems to forget that he has a kingdom. Like he is actually a king.
Because like in Super, they mention what is the name of the where his kingdom is, that mountain catches fire again and destroys all of his belongings. So he is destitute now. Is that why he's off as a episode in Super where Goku has to go get a job?
That was the first episode.
Goku is technically a farmer. He just doesn't want to do it. So Mr. Satan shows up and basically pays Goku off to not tell anyone that he's a fake. Yeah, also, basically, it's not that, but that's my headcanon of he has to pay Goku off at 100 million zenny, I think it is. Also, something about I think he also pays Goku to be his bodyguard at some point too, doesn't he? Goku becomes a bodyguard for a while, but I don't remember if it. Oh yeah, it was when Arale shows up. Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
This movie does too that I got to give it credit for. Is it the whole premise is that they have. Oh, I should say the plot. The plot is Beerus woke up which is a god of destruction, woke up after 39 years nap because of he knew he had a prophecy that there would be some being that could challenge him, and then he's now awake and coming towards Earth to meet the Super Saiyan God. But one thing that this movie does that I wanted to say that it does well is that with the whole premise of it being a birthday party for Bulma, it gives you a good opportunity to introduce all the characters again and give them reason to be there. You have the frickin' pig. you haven't seen him since Dragon Ball. I don't think he's really even in Z.
No, he's in Z.
He's
Is
in
he
Z.
Z?
He shows, yeah,
Oh, wow.
he shows up a few times.
No, but that's not. He's not like as a guy who watched Z often or watched a lot of Z, but then apparently forgot everything. Like these are characters that you wouldn't really know as well, and they find an excuse, I feel, to bring everybody in to kind of reintroduce you to Dragon Ball. And here, look at all these wonderful characters we have.
They also give a kind of like a basically, which is a good way to mention it too. They kind of give an idea of where they are in the timeline. Because like I said, this very much does take place before the end of Z, because Marin's there and she's probably like a baby, but she's not like a baby. She's like probably like 3, toddler or whatever. And, Pan doesn't exist yet, and then they introduce that she's pregnant later on. So you kind of get that idea too and all that other stuff.
I do like that whole like payoff and the way they do all that where she is pregnant. I thought that was done really, really well. I don't know. I just liked that. I liked how he's like, oh, you're pregnant. Don't tell anybody. And then when they're like, we need 5 Saiyans to give the power to make one a Super Saiyan God. And then turns out we have one. I like
It was a nice reveal.
Yeah. They
But
did do like one small change here in the actual show. Like Videl actually looks like she turned Super Saiyan. She gets the blonde hair. She gets like, I think her eye color changes too. And in this, it doesn't. It doesn't do that. And I actually do like that better in Super. I think that's kind of a cool little detail.
Well, I forget. Was it one of them? They did a screw up. I think it was in Super, and I think they might have changed it back where they had Gohan go Super Saiyan instead of Mystic or Ultimate to fight Beerus. And I was like, wait, no, he should be the Ultimate, and they like course corrected because he's supposed to.
Well, like in Super, they explain like that Gohan can't go Majestic now. He can barely go Super Saiyan.
He can later on. By the time Resurrection F comes out, he's weakened. But in this one, he's not weakened yet. He's still.
Yeah.
This is still. He hasn't like.
He's not
gone out of shape.
Yeah.
Wait, what's Majestic? That when he grabs the sword?
Mystic
when he goes
Gohan.
black hair, like his true power unlocked. His true potential.
Okay.
Yeah, when he fights Boo.
It's the power he got in the Boo saga from the old Kai.
Okay, the
After
reason
he
why I
broke
know
it.
what you're talking about is because there's a character for him in Dragon Ball Z Legendary Super Warriors or Game Boy Color. That's I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, good game.
I love that game. It's
Yeah,
on the show, too.
The sequel on DS is good too.
What?
The sequel on the DS is good too.
I didn't know this was a sequel.
There's a sequel on the DS. You just told Mike that.
Yep,
Oh.
Supersonic Warriors too.
Well, the other thing too that I like that this movie introduces, because it's a good way to get people back into it, which is a question that no one's really ever asked, is what's kind of the point of continuously like powering up? And it introduces the idea, which this movie teases and doesn't, all that other stuff, where they explain that there are gods of destruction in different universes. And as fucked up as it sounds, it's kind of a way to keep universes from overpopulating.
Yeah, I think
Keeps
that's
them from
fair.
having the Thanos problem.
Well, they don't really tease the universes in the movie, but they do obviously in the anime.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just rewatched the movie like right before we started, and they don't want to mention the universes. Just that.
No, they mentioned something about different versions. There is one stray comment with Beerus makes a comment about it, or somebody does. There's one comment I caught.
Yeah, there's Beerus is talking about it to Goku while he's unconscious, and he's like, "Yeah, that's right. I'm the god of destruction for Universe 7." And I think he says there's 12 other universes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere I heard that because I watched this movie 1.5 times. I didn't get a chance to finish it the second time. I was trying to, but I just ran out of time.
And you know what? I think that was the smartest thing to do with Dragon Ball is to do the whole universe thing, because if you just keep a new worse bad, which is all Z was, right? You had the Saiyans, and then you had Namek, and then Frieza Force, and you have the androids, and then you have Boo. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's so weird. Like, how come if this guy was such a threat, how come we haven't heard of him before? It's the whole thing like with the MCU with Eternals. Like, why weren't you helping with Thanos if you're this powerful? So I love the fact that there are other universes, and that gives infinite new villains and new characters they can introduce. And I think they handle that really well in Super, which of course all stems from this movie. And it's the movie is the real introduction to a larger Dragon Ball universe that we'd never had in Dragon Ball Z or GT beforehand.
I also really like the fact that Beerus is a cat, that the god of destruction is a cat. That just makes me so happy.
I think originally which they definitely stray from, because I will give a spoiler to Mike, one of them is a clown. But originally they were all going to be kind of like Egyptian gods, and I think they backpedaled on that just a little bit.
I mean, he does. Beerus is Egyptian looking.
He is absolutely.
He's a different cat.
He's a Sphinx cat.
Yeah, I love it. I just love the fact that he's a cat because
And Champa is too.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't know
got
what Champa is.
he's got a twin brother named Chamba. He's a fat version of him.
Oh, I've seen him before on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Because I've seen pictures of Dragon Ball stuff. Like I know I've gotten some of it through osmosis, essentially, that idea. Like I just seen things on the internet, but I don't know much about Super. I don't know if I care enough either. But
Well,
I just like Beerus
interesting
because
to watch this movie and then watch the Super version because there are a lot of really fleshed out moments because it's obviously this is a it's what 2-hour movie, 85-minute movie.
hour 45.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
hour
long
40.
actually.
So the special edition is 105. The theatrical was 85. But
Okay.
you have to stretch that out to what was it, like 15 episodes or whatever of a show. That's significantly longer. So they have a lot of things like Goku getting paid off by Mr. Satan so that Goku can go train. Because if you remember in the movie, he's already on King Kai's planet.
Yeah.
So how do you get him there from the end, from the sort of the end of Z? And that's how they did it. Is he gets paid off so he could tell Chi Chi, here's the money. Now I don't have to be a farmer. I'm going to go train on King Kai's planet. And I like that they did things like that. And of course, the second episode of Super with Vegeta on vacation is probably one of my favorites. I think that's just hilarious. Watching him at an amusement park trying to have fun with. And he's sour and pissed off that Goku's training and he's not.
Vegeta's good in this too. Like there's a lot of little moments with Vegeta I thought were very good.
He's the MVP in my opinion.
Yes. He gets stronger than Goku in this movie for a split second.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta say, Super Saiyan 3 is really ugly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like it when Goku goes Super Saiyan 3 when he first has his first fight against Beerus, just like as a sparring match, and I just don't like. He also gets really cocky, which doesn't feel as much as Goku as normal. But everything about Super Saiyan 3 I just do not like, and I'm glad that he goes away.
That's a side effect. That's supposed to be.
Yeah,
okay.
the Super Saiyan 3 is that's a side effect. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
Because
Goku is the only one who can kind of handle it because, like, Gotenks goes Super Saiyan 3 and just turns into an asshole.
if you remember, because you were watching, like, I don't know if you saw it in the Cell Saga, when Vegeta is beaten by Cell, Trunks goes to a level above Super Saiyan 2, I forget whether they like ascended or whatever, and it's like Super big, Saiyan. Muscular and all that, and gets the crap kicked out of him, and Vegeta and Goku are both like, yeah, we knew about that form, but the disadvantages don't make it worth it. So each form of Super Saiyan has actually advantages, disadvantages. They drain power differently. They enhance your mood or affect your mental state differently, and that's one of the drawbacks. To 3 is it takes a lot of energy to use, and it makes you cocky as hell. Like you lose reason. You're just like almost like an animal.
And then your eyebrows go missing.
Your eyebrows do go missing. Yes.
Super Saiyan 3 looks so bad in Super. Like, I don't mind it in Z. I think it looks okay in Z. It looks so bad in everything. Every time it's ever shown in Super, it looks terrible.
No, I think it looks fine.
It's shiny.
Those Trunks.
They don't normally go past 2, right? Then usually up to this point.
No, 3 existed.
But only Goku can do 3, right?
And Gotenks.
Yeah.
Goku.
Okay.
Yeah, they do 4 a couple times in GT, but one thing that I'm actually really interested in that I'm kind of glad they did, because eventually power levels do become bullshit. They do get Super Saiyan Blue eventually, which, funny enough, we coined the name Super Saiyan Blue because in Japan it eventually got turned to Super. It was originally Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, and American Shonen Jump went, we're not calling it that. We're calling it Super Saiyan Blue because you guys have said it's blue. And apparently Akira Toryiama was like, that's fair. I'll change it to that then. And then eventually down the line that they all get their own powers. Goku goes Ultra Instinct. Vegeta goes to the planet where Goku learned teleportation and learns his own special ability. Yeah. And I don't remember what.
He also gets Perfect Blue
Ultra Ego.
and during the
Blue Evolution.
Yeah, Blue Evolution during the Tournament of Power.
Yeah, and Goku can't do that either. And then Gohan for another movie gets Beast Gohan, which I'm kind of hit and miss on it.
I love Beast Gohan.
Gohan,
the hair's a little too long.
Yeah,
looks terrible in the anime. It looks really cool in the manga.
It's really cool in manga.
I love it in the anime.
That's cool. I'm glad
and Piccolo gets Orange Piccolo.
Okay,
I do like that. That is great.
I like Piccolo a lot, but I think that's also because, like, for me, Dragon Ball Z, like, when I did watch it as a kid, it was the Saiyan saga, and then I stopped because they probably stopped airing it, and then that's all I saw. So for me, like, I like Piccolo a lot because that's who I remember seeing because Goku was running on the Snake Bridge forever.
Yep.
That's fair.
Yeah, Piccolo's a great character who gets destroyed in
he's out of the year.
GT.
He's strong. He never got strong enough to compete with where they go eventually. Like, he barely keeps up with the androids, if I remember correctly.
Piccolo is significantly stronger because he's always training. But it's one of those things where when you get to these levels of God levels, no one else can compete, and became the problem with Dragon Ball. And like when I mentioned the GT with Goku time, that was the biggest problem with GT. If you watch it, is Goku had to solve virtually everything. Every other character was made to be insignificant, and that's a problem when you have an ensemble cast. And Super has that problem to a bit, and that's when everyone just randomly gets power level boosts. So that makes everybody. I know some people don't like it. I like it just because it allows everybody to get time to shine. And because it's no fun if you look, there's 15 people here, all the Z fighters are here, and all that matters is 1 or 2 people. Everyone else just gets their crap kicked out of them.
That's why the Universe tournament was really good, because everybody, even freaking Master Roshi got a time to shine.
Yep, everyone did. Except for Yamcha. Poor Yamcha. He never got his fight.
Hang on. Yamcha does get hit on in a Super Dragon Ball Heroes by a god.
And my favorite episode of Super is a Yamcha episode, which is the baseball episode, and I'll stand by that. That is the best episode ever.
That's great.
Yeah, I forgot. I was watching a thing that was talking about all the different arcs, and I forgot that Yamcha was actually like competent at one point in the series when it came to power levels and stuff.
Yeah, Dragon Ball, he was very competent, and in the Saiyan Saga, he was too.
Isn't there a statue of him in a crater in Japan?
Yeah.
I would love to see that personally. That would be so cool.
Even in that first fight with the Saba men, I mean, he kicked their ass and he looked good. He got a cheap shot. It was he got killed by a cheap shot.
There's also
He was worse than Krillin at this point.
Oh yeah, at this point, yeah.
Oh, Krillin's like.
No, even in Z, he was worse than Krillin. I mean, cheap shot because Cyberman and cheap shot because of Dr. Gero.
Yeah. I was gonna say in Super they do have that whole arc where I think they explain that Krillin's eventually going to become the new Master Roshi, but yeah.
Krillin is the strongest human. I mean, he lets himself go a little bit and gets back to training later on in Super. But I mean,
Krillin is like tactically.
I wish they kept his hair, but
I like the hair. I also like it. Doesn't he have a kid too now in this?
Yeah, Marin.
Okay. She was there.
I saw a baby, but I didn't really I forgot because I know he ends up with Android 18.
18.
Okay.
My 18.
And what they do to Krillin in GT is so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! Please don't bring that up.
I don't remember, which is bad.
Oh yeah, it's heartbreaking. It leads to the Super 17 saga.
So I have a weird question for y'all as well. Do y'all think it's weird that they retcon Frieza kind of being evil?
Frieza's still evil.
They never retconned him being evil.
Are you saying just because Beerus told him to do something?
Yeah, Beerus told him to destroy the fucking Saiyan planet, which I think
that doesn't make you not evil. Like example, if you go to let's say here a riot and bring a gun, let's say here in Racine and shoot somebody, just because you were told to do it, you're still evil.
Yeah.
Frieza's evil, and they show Frieza continuously being evil. I mean,
Frieza's terrible.
I mean, even now in the manga, he's still evil.
He's evil in Super too.
Yeah, no, I do like that you find out that Beerus had gave him an order. And he was doing it because, he probably do it. I think he's doing it for himself, but it was a nice little touch to kind of connect it in a way.
And there's a stupid reason for it too. I can't remember what it was though.
They try to establish that Beerus is thinking about making Frieza his successor later on.
Oh,
yeah. And now, as of right now, it's in the manga, it's a competition between, ironically, which is even cooler, I think. It's between Frieza and Vegeta, and Vegeta actually is wearing the same little earring that Beerus is wearing.
Oh.
I really hope they go back to Super and start adapting the manga into anime, especially after Toryiama died.
I'm sure.
Yeah, the manga's on hiatus right now until I don't know if we have a date when it's coming back yet.
But they can absolutely start adapting that to anime. And let's do this for Toryiama.
They will.
So if that's the case, then is the granola arc stuff like that going to be in between Broly and superhero?
What they'll probably do is they'll probably redo Broly and superhero or something, and again,
I hope not.
It creates new episodes and it gives them time before the manga starts back up.
And for somehow anime is made a way faster than manga is. I will never understand that, but it is.
Because sometimes
copy and paste, basically.
No, and they sometimes adapt like 2 or 3 chapters an episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also manga artists also it's one person doing the artwork. That's why sometimes it's monthly, sometimes it's weekly, things like that.
Oh, that
Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
and as opposed to anime where it's at least 30 to 40 people.
Yeah, it's a whole team of people. Okay.
Yeah.
And as a big fan of the Boruto manga that's going on right now, it sucks because I don't want to wait every month to see what's happening because God, it's so good right now.
That Boruto manga is real good.
I also appreciate the fact that like Vegeta knew who Beerus was, that he met him as a child. Like just so many things that help connect it into this world. I thought was really done really well. Because this movie is, like I said earlier, it's really a jumping on point for so many new fans, and it does a really good job of connecting to the Z universe, showing you all these characters and giving you something to enjoy without needing to have watched all those seasons.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes this movie so special too, is that you don't need to know a lot. Like, I mean, if you know, like the whole thing when Majin Buu starting to fight with Beerus over pudding, like if you know who Majin Buu is, it's funnier. But if you don't, it's still funny and it still works. And this movie has a ton of comedy in it. Like I forgot how goofy Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z is in general. Like it does a really good job of capturing that, and it made me laugh a lot. Like I chuckled a lot during this movie.
Well, I mean, with Boo is easy because I mean he's big pink guy. Like even if you don't know who he is, like this guy looks like he eats a lot. Like obviously a fight over food.
Also,
there is a thing of like Thor was never a big fan of what the like English dub did to Goku because they basically kind of made him Superman. So when he did Super, he made Goku like way goofier than he was in Z because he was he was never a fan of what the English dub did to Goku.
Yeah, he's definitely way goofier. But I mean, even back in the Cell Saga, right? I mean, he let Gohan fight him and took a Zenzu bean and tossed it to Cell, and he was like, "Here you go." And like, what are you doing?
He wasn't going, "Ooh, that drama sounds juicy."
No.
I also like to also say that Akira Toryiama is originally a comedy writer, so it's fair that he sprinkles comedy throughout this. I also
what makes this work.
Yeah, I also like a bunch of like, which honestly it goes both ways, which is why I love it too. Just the scene of Vegeta freaking out, and it's like, I hope no one pisses off Beerus, and everyone is like half a second from pissing him off, even to a point to where Beerus is straight up just breakdancing, and he's like, Vegeta's having a fucking panic attack in the background.
Oh yeah, because no one else realizes the severity of the situation.
And he's being stupid too. They just don't know he's a god. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I love the scene where Vegeta's like, he's sitting down and somebody does something. He's like, oh my God, I can't even sit down for a minute.
It said every parent ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Also, one thing that I like legitimately forget, and I think they bring it up a lot more in Super as opposed to Z. Well, this is Z, but the point I'm getting at is I also completely forget that technically the Brief family is supposed to be super fucking rich.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're just like the Apple company. Like they invent everything in the world. Like it's terrifying, but also I'm glad it's in people who are funny as opposed to the psychopaths we have in the real world.
Well, there's a line in the Dragon Ball Z Abridged, the Boo bits at the end where Goku goes, "I'm glad all the people with money are good." When Bulma's like, "They will never want for anything in their life."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yet Bulma, as rich as she is, constantly abuses the Dragon Balls to keep wishing for her to be younger and stuff
God,
like that
I
later.
hate Bulma for that.
Basically, plastic surgery. Yes.
Yeah.
By a magic wish dragon.
I mean, which is even funnier if you think about, honestly, this is one of those things where Dragon Ball Super in general, and obviously the movies and Battle of the Gods and all this, really makes GT better because of that ending arc in GT and what happens. And all you realize all these stupid wishes we never saw before, like Bulma doing things like that. Like, oh yeah, now the Shadow Dragon makes even more sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I
didn't know Bulma wished herself to be younger.
Yeah, well, wishes for like
not younger, but cosmetic wishes, basically.
Oh,
she would basically like make a wish of like, oh, can you like trim an eyebrow or make my nose 10% smaller or. Like she does little cosmetic surgery wishes with
make her ass firmer.
And she does this on the downtime because she's got the dragon radar, so she just goes around, grabs the dragon balls
again. It doesn't only take like a year, right? That they're stoned and they become the balls again.
Depends on how many wishes they do at one time. I think it's like 4 months. They changed
that.
But originally it was just one.
Yeah, I think it's like if you do one wish now, it's like 4 months.
I think the dragon has 2 wishes because if I remember correctly, I think if if you have one wish, you can wish for multiple people. If you have 2 wishes, you can't wish for immortality, I think it was.
Dende's dragon.
Immortality wish.
I just remember Oolong wishes for panties.
That was the very first wish in Dragon Ball.
Yep.
And that comes to bite them in the ass in GT, which is even funnier.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's very specifically one of the evil dragons is like, what wish were you from? And she's like, I'm the panty wish. And they all start laughing at her.
But you know what? That wish saved the day because Pilaf would have gotten his wish otherwise.
What was Pilaf's wish? I forget back then.
He wanted to be...
Take over the world.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Hang on. By this point in the series, because Battle of the Gods is before Super or beginning of Super, the the dragon didn't have the capability to make more than one wish yet. I remember that specifically because in this one they only have one wish, and then when it comes to Resurrection F, they have 2 wishes, and then when Superhero happens, there's 3 wishes again.
No, because in the Cell games they bring back Trunks, and then Krillin wishes for the bomb.
They use the Namekian balls, though. Remember?
No, that was the Earth dragon.
Earth
that was
one.
Dende. Dende's dragon is stronger than Kami's dragon. So when Dende becomes the new guardian of Earth, he has to make a new dragon himself, and his one is stronger.
Oh, then how come there's only one wish in this one? In this movie?
Shenron got scared.
Yeah,
That was the only wish that you don't have to use all the wishes. You can make one wish and tell Shenron to go away.
And Shenron was also terrified of Beerus.
That was hilarious.
Okay, fair point.
That was hilarious how scared he is of Beerus. He's like, oh god. But I was wondering why the Dragon Balls were just one of the prizes, but that makes sense if Bulma's just getting them all the time. Because for me, as a guy who watched the original Dragon Ball, and that it's the Dragon Ball, that's a big fucking deal. But I forget the fact that now it's just go get them all again.
Well, you also have to remember the common people in the world have no idea what the Dragon Ball was. Or any of the Dragon Balls. It's pretty much exclusive at this point to just them. The Red Ribbon Army is virtually destroyed, and what little left, they're doing their own other little things. Pilaf knows, and that's pretty much it. Everybody else on Earth is completely oblivious. Plus, I think at the end of the Boo saga, didn't they all have their minds wiped when they all came back?
They had their minds wiped that Boo was evil because Boo was still...
Yeah, so they not only were they all brought back, but then they have no recollection of the Boo saga at all. So they have no idea about these other greater powers out there that are going to destroy them. So they have no idea what's going on. So Bulma pretty much has monopoly on going around grabbing the balls and doing whatever she wants with them.
Oh, okay. Hey, you cued me in something I did not know. All right. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's okay. They also do kind of explain people do kind of know weird shit goes on in Capsule Corp, because there's a moment where someone's like, I wonder, look at them over at Capsule Corp blowing up fireworks again or something.
They must be having a party over there.
Yeah, they know something goes up, but they don't question it beyond that.
Money.
It's
just
look at us. We don't
partying.
question what some of the billionaires do around here. Well, we do, but that's because of the internet. So,
but even that, we don't really get information. It's all just hearsay, and people say whatever they want online, and people believe it. So
that too.
It always just reminds me of that the abridged scene where the guy goes Godzilla, 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 Godzilla when they summon Shinron in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
I forget a lot about Trunks. I forgot that Trunks plays a decent. Well, I didn't remember, but I like the stuff with Trunks in the movie. That's what I want to say. When he tells Goten, that's my girlfriend, or that's my squeeze, as he calls her. I thought that was just hilarious because that's Vegeta's son, all right. And
yeah, well, he's also competing with Goten the whole time too.
Yeah,
don't feel too bad. They forget about Trunks all the time too.
Yeah.
Really quick, can we talk about those bingo prizes?
Sure, please.
Because one of them looks like the outfit from Smooth Criminal, and then the white glove.
Is that what that's supposed to be?
That's what, because you see the white fedora with the black trim and a zoot suit coat and a white glove in a case. And keep in mind, the creator of One Piece, and also because he was also a fan of, he also worked on this too, is a huge Michael Jackson fan, and he puts lots of references to them in both One Piece and in Super, apparently, from what I've been told.
I can see that.
I know there's an airplane that, honestly, I'm concerned it looks like a Nazi airplane.
It's not Nazi. It's World War I Germany.
Okay.
But yeah, it looks like the Red Baron, which, I mean, yeah, that's the German cross.
Is that a golden organ piano?
Yes, that is a golden organ piano.
Jesus, I never noticed it before.
A year supply of hams, I think they said.
Yeah, Steve Hams.
Hams.
Correct.
Gem that's worth probably that probably can't be determined how much money it's worth.
A castle.
To go back to the gym really quick, my Looney Tunes Love and Heart just absolutely love when he's like, that diamond was probably worth way more than million zenny that we're going to get for this Dragon Ball, and Pilaf's like mouth opens and his tongue rolls out on the ground. I'm like, that's great. I love that.
And what does Mai say? She goes, we don't want too much money or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's also a lot of weird cartoony sound effects. Like whenever like Whis throws his like cane down, it like makes like a weird Looney Tunes sound effect.
Well, and Beerus does the whole like doesn't know he's not standing on anything until he looks down after he first wakes up.
Yeah, when he wakes up. Yeah,
That was good.
I love it.
That was very Looney Tunes. He taps the floor. Yeah. Just so much comedy in this. And I think that's when you need comedy in anime. Like some of my favorite animes, like Yu Yu Hakusho. I love that show. But like I was watching it not too long ago, and I'm like, well, one thing that makes this show so great is the fact that you have all this comedy, or it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like Dragon Ball. Like you need this comedy. It makes it special. If you had all I remember are the fights. But this movie only has really 3 fights. But the comedy in this movie was entertaining. I couldn't put it down.
If I remember right, Resurrection F is like way more serious.
It is more serious.
Way serious.
Great music too.
I am curious to rewatch it because I think I've seen it once. I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
I've seen it once, I know.
I usually don't like skipping around, but including music, I think the track where like Goku's finally fighting Beerus, they do the whole Super Saiyan thing, and I think they're like on the ground. And I think I've heard that sound clip too, where Goku says like, "You won't destroy my world," and like the music kicks in. It's probably like I was actually like sitting there like going like, "Yeah, yeah!" Like I actually felt like a kid watching Dragon Ball Z again.
Oh, the final fight is badass. Okay, I will just say that it is fucking badass.
Oh yeah.
I actually like it better in Super versus the movie, simply because of the whole universe destroying thing, which I know we talked a little bit about, where their fight was so powerful that if it kept going, it would actually destroy all of the universe.
Yeah,
And, that's cool. Like the fact that they're that powerful at this point.
And then they like undercut it by like screwing up one of the best scenes after the end of the fight is in the movie. Beerus just like blows that one rock up.
Yep.
Well, in actual Super, he's like getting ready to blow up and he actually falls asleep.
See,
I don't like him falling asleep. I'd much rather him just like cheeky, like, and I destroyed a part of your planet.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I definitely like that part better.
And speaking of something that Super actually, my Bulma scene in Super, it is so bad.
Yeah.
It is awful. They ruined the best scene in that movie in Super.
And they extended the takoyaki scene and the bingo scene. They didn't really need to, but yeah, they did.
Well, they did that for filler, as if padded out.
Fun fact, everyone's favorite moment is the Vegeta dance scene because...
I like that scene too.
Yeah,
God, yes.
I do too.
Because Mexico absolutely loves Dragon Ball Z. In fact, whenever a new Dragon Ball Z game comes out, Mexican cartel crime goes down for 2 weeks because they're all playing the new Dragon Ball Z game.
Well, I do know that when Toriyama died, that they honored him and all the cartels didn't fight for a bit to honor him. So,
like when the tournament arc was going on, they would like have gigantic viewing parties.
Oh no,
in like parks.
That whole like viewing thing is so fucking funny because they were basically teasing it, and businesses were getting cease and desist letters from Crunchyroll. The president of Mexico literally like contacted like Crunchyroll and like the like president of Japan and was like, "What do I have to do to make this legal?" And he's like, "I will pay an actual amount of money to make sure we're allowed to do this." And Crunchyroll and him were like, "You don't really have to pay us anything. We're just telling you that it can't happen. But if it does happen, we probably will look the other way." And he's like, "All right, I got you guys. We appreciate it." And so like the videos of people cheering like in Mexico during those fights is like the most magical moment I've ever seen ever.
If I remember correctly, there was a soccer game, or they do it constantly. I don't know if it's Mexico or Brazil that does this, but at the end of a soccer game, every time someone gets a goal, they play some clip of someone yelling from Dragon Ball.
I think it's Brazil. I think it's in Brazil. I remember hearing about that.
That's cool.
That's awesome. No, I'm glad that people love Dragon Ball. Like, that's just awesome that people do. Oh, I do want to talk about like the Vegeta fight in here, which is very short, unfortunately. But it's really good. Like you guys were saying earlier, like, he gets so much power because Beerus just smacks Bulma, and then he just like, "Don't hit my wife," and just loses it. And that was great.
Oh yeah, he becomes more powerful than Goku in that moment. It just shows his rage of
Yeah, and it's also like a good like. I don't think Vegeta at the end of Dragon Ball Z would have done that. I don't think he would have lost his mind if somebody like smacked Bulma, honestly. So it's like it's kind of a thing of like, okay, we see that Vegeta is still Vegeta, but Vegeta has officially settled down. He's like a family man while still being Vegeta, and you touch his wife, no matter who you are, you're going to die.
Fair. I just liked it because, as he gets mad, like he's fighting a god that he's scared of, but because of his anger, he starts fighting. And also, like, I do want to say a part that I kind of forgot about, but like when May pulls the gun on Trunks, would a bullet even hurt Trunks? No, I'm assuming no. Okay. I didn't think it would.
And that's what Super does with the Vegeta. That's my Bulma thing. They draw it out so much longer, and it completely robs any of the emotion out of what happens, because it is literally it's almost like Vegeta is fighting back, not getting angry until he snaps. But in this, it is just like switch flips and Vegeta goes nuclear, and that's why it's so good, and that's why it is so bad in the actual. You should go watch the clip from Super. It is so bad,
and it fits Vegeta to get angry. That's Vegeta.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you shouldn't have him not get angry that Bulma got attacked. It also shows growth that he cares more about humans than where he was at one point.
Well, he still goes after Beerus. It just takes him longer to do it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like 45 seconds of him like super dramatic. It's
well,
just
because
terrible.
He's conflicted. I mean, he understands the gravitas of the situation with Beerus and what it will do, and he's trying not to get his family killed. And it does show growth as well, because he's doing that because he cares about the people that are there with him. He cares about his family, and that is a very big growth part for Vegeta. And then finally he can't take it anymore. So I can see both being good. I do think the movie version is better, but I don't think the Super version is 100% terrible either.
Yeah, I personally do not like it at all.
Then nothing wrong with that. One interesting thing between Super and the movie is that the party takes place in two completely different locales, and I thought that was a weird change.
Oh,
That seems
yeah.
odd.
In Super, it's like on a gigantic cruise ship.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, why are you changing the locale? Like, that's so weird that you're changing this.
Yeah, because this works as it being at the capsule core. Like, everything with this works because they're, like, later on when he does fight Beerus, he takes him somewhere else. Everything fits well.
Yeah, and Super, they're on a cruise. She has a cruise ship.
Oh yeah.
Fighting
I'm
out
not
in the ocean.
surprised, but
So I've been on Mike Albertin's show numerous times. Mike, you know I like Power Rangers and Kamen Rider and all that goofy
yes,
shit.
I do.
Anybody who listens to the show, you guys probably know I like a lot of stuff. Fucking hate the Great Saiyaman.
Aww.
like a fiery passion.
Okay, no. I hate the do-rag.
Yes, it's the do-rag. If it
I
was
hate
a
that.
helmet, and he talked like a normal person, because it could just be normal Gohan saying, "I'm the Great Saiyaman," and doing the dance, I'd be perfectly fine. I hate that they make him put on like a fake Superman, like, "I'm a tough guy and I'm a superhero," kind of like
wait, wasn't
voice.
it a helmet?
Because he's
back
a
in the day?
teenager.
Yes.
He's a grown man.
But because you couldn't have you can't have like hard head coverings in the martial arts tournament, he had to switch to the do-rag.
Yeah,
Oh,
he had a helmet during the when he was actually Great Saiyaman and stopping crime.
Okay.
And then
I've seen-
later in Super, they bring the helmet back, and that's actually Super
Yeah, we
has
can move
probably
about
the best Great Saiyaman thing they ever did with Great Saiyaman.
Yes, it does.
But it's like has to deal with him and Vidal's marriage, and like it's really good. It's great.
And see, I understand like some of the Great Saiyaman stuff is kind of like it's tongue in cheek, and obviously it's a play on Sentai and all the other shows like that. And I like it, and I understand, because especially as a teenage boy, remember, he doesn't have a father anymore. He's just trying to do good, but he's also trying to balance his teenage life at that time at school and everything, and studies. So he's trying to be a hero. But if you were just to go out and have superpowers right now, and you go out looking like you, and you save the day, especially in today's day and age, right? People will discover who you are. Your address will be posted. People will be coming to try and talk to you, and anybody that you wronged will instantly know where to go to try and take vengeance on your family. So, granted, his brother can obviously take care of himself, and Chi-Chi is a warrior, but still she could get hurt. Ox King could still get hurt. So he's trying to not draw attention to himself as Gohan and created this persona, which is why he's masking his voice so people don't identify him. And it doesn't always work because Videl figures it out. And I think that's one of the sweetest things is when Videl becomes, Great Saiyaman girl, and then they go out together. I'm like, that's cool.
I mean, technically, Videl would be a complete and total moron to not figure it out of all the stuff she's seen of just Gohan.
Yeah, but she does figure it out, though.
Yeah, like with him going after a baseball and jumping 50 feet in the air. Like, that's probably not normal. That seems like he might have powers, and this guy just showed up.
In classic Sentai, I'm assuming, like Power Rangers, you just don't know. Like, I don't know how does this happen? It couldn't be these 5 kids that are wearing color-coordinated shirts that fit the color of the Rangers. Nah, it couldn't be them.
So wait, are you guys telling me you don't have your superhero outfits already ready? Because I've already got kind of like something in my closet right now that I could probably wear.
Is it a Robin outfit?
Oh,
No, it's like it's like a blue hoodie.
But no, I mean, see, that's why I also don't mind, because again, he's a kid. He's still a teenager when he invents that character, and he doesn't use it much past that.
Yeah, I think in Super he only uses it in that, like, doesn't he become like the stunt man for the Great Saiyaman movie?
Yeah. And you know what? I like the fact that he started to have get his strength back at that point. Like he started.
I like what they have done with Gohan. It's one of those things of as it's going, you hate it, but where he's at when this hiatus takes place in the manga for Super, I'm like, they have done justice to Gohan all the way around. Now, looking back, because he is back to one of the strongest beings in the universe now. He is, and he actually, he has his family, he has his job, he has his life settled, and now he can focus more on training and not be Goku, who is, living paycheck to paycheck.
Okay, so on that note, I have to say Gohan needs to make up his mind. Needs to make up his mind. He needs to make up his mind because in this one he's still a little strong, and then for most Super he's weak, and then because of the whole Frieza stuff, he gets strong a little bit for some amount of power, and then he gets weak again in the newest movie, and they have to basically bolster him up again.
Oh no, he was training in the newest movie. What do you?
Yeah, he's still been training. He just doesn't have his instincts. What do they say? It's like there's a difference between the training and having your battle instinct. That's what Piccolo's trying to reawaken his battle instinct. He still has his power. It's just he doesn't have the battle instinct back yet until what happens in Super.
Yeah.
And then in what happens at the end of the manga is, it's a reinforcement of okay, Gohan's back.
So I want to talk about the Super Saiyan God because we got pretty much the rest of the stuff. But with that, this whole idea that because he had this premonition that there was going to be a Super Saiyan God, we talked about how they make the wish that Goku's okay, we need the 5 Saiyans. We talked about how you get that they all get together. The Super Saiyan God thing is kind of cool where his hair becomes red, but it's also cool that you have that time limit to it. So when he becomes it, it's only going to last so long, when their fight starts.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really well done. And I think the whole time that they're fighting, you have Wiz is also just eating different foods, which is also hilarious too.
I think everybody loves Whis.
Whis
is great.
Whis is awesome.
Yeah. English voice actor for him he does a stellar job.
The God is a nice new thing. They had to do something new for this movie to make it stand out and to make it you needed something. And the idea of a Super Saiyan God is cool. And the idea that it's them essentially praying, hey, thoughts and prayers worked. And then you having a God happen. I like that. I thought that was really cool. And seeing everybody get beat up by Beerus was also cool. Gotenks shows up, everybody gets their ass beat.
Oh,
I did laugh when Chi-Chi's oh God, it's that Brad again.
Literally beat.
Gotenks has never once had a win.
Yeah.
He's powerful as hell, though.
Yeah.
It's because he's cocky idiot. Even at where they're at now, they fuse again, and it is a complete shit show. Gotenks
in the anime, they never show him as an adult or as teenagers fuse.
They do in the manga.
In the manga, yeah, but
and I didn't. No, I don't guess they did in Superhero.
Superhero, they fused, but not the perfect. That was the fat one. They never showed proper Gotenks.
Well, it's the point of most shonen anime, though. Anyways, all that's always that's technically the reason why Piccolo and Vegeta exist in general. Anyways, is Piccolo lost, now Cell's here. Cell lets the bad guy power up and blah blah blah, and it's always something that happens like that. It's in everything. It's in Dragon Ball Z. It's in Bleach. It's in Naruto. Like everything always does that, which I always think is always funny too.
It's
Low-key,
tropes.
yeah, low-key though do wish that because Vegeta's like later on Vegeta's like, I wish I got the power up, and it's like I kind of wish too.
Oh yeah, he deserved it.
Yeah, I Vegeta had been the Super Saiyan God in this for a change and win.
I do like Vegeta's like
later.
Oh, okay. That's the blue hair in the movie?
No, he has blue hair, but he also gets Super Saiyan God form as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and he only uses it once.
Once, yeah.
I do like the Vegeta going like, what's he say? Like this is the first time I'm kind of happy it's not me.
Oh yeah,
like I'm kind of happy it's not me up there fighting him.
No, because Beerus is unstoppable. And like even when Goku, I do like there's one line when Goku's fighting him or somebody says they're like, Goku's body remembered the power he got from being the god. Even though it went away, his body remembered and he's stronger because of it.
And that's why like later they can still do it.
Because like he goes super, like he's like Super Saiyan 2, right? When he's fighting Beerus later on after the god thing wears off.
I think he's
I think it's Super Saiyan 1.
Oh, okay. 2,
Yes.
Does the hair get longer?
No.
It's like
spikier.
stands up more. Yeah, it's
Okay.
spikier.
It stands up more and they get like lightning around their body. That's the major difference in Super Saiyan 2.
I also don't think he
So
has
remember,
pangs.
the reason why that Vegeta didn't fight Goku is because remember now he's a model citizen.
And also I don't know that Vegeta can do Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah,
He can.
Vegeta did Super
He can?
Saiyan 2 in the Cell.
It's 3 he doesn't do.
It's 3 is
The only time that I ever remember seeing him go, Vegeta go like full blown Super Saiyan 2 is when he was Majin Vegeta. I know, but I'm like, I don't.
Stronger. Even.
Can he? I've never seen him go Super Saiyan 2 without that I know of.
Well, yeah, because that's the only time he does. Because after that, technically, we have GT and GT. I think whenever the baby saga happens, Vegeta is immediately transformed. So he has the whole idea of becoming the Super Saiyan monkey thing and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
and I mean, they also like later on go into like somehow Vegeta figured out how to go Super Saiyan God without the ritual or anything.
Yeah, I think they explained it in the manga. They figured it out.
Was it just somehow Vegeta returned? Just like that in the opening?
Maybe.
I like to think Vegeta didn't need it because his entire rage, when he gets mad with the Bulma thing, he actually does go toe to toe with him and gets eventually what kind of Goku does have at the end. So I kind of like to think that he didn't need it anyways. That's
Yeah,
my
I also
personal.
like that Goku loses in that fight to Beerus, essentially. Like, he doesn't die, of course, but he doesn't win. Like, he stops the fireball and shows Beerus that he's a worthy opponent, but he doesn't beat Beerus. He can't stop him completely.
No, he's not strong enough.
Which I thought was cool that we don't really have a villain, we just have an antagonist in this movie.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'd really consider Beerus a villain, even though he was going to destroy the world. But
He's an antagonist that becomes an ally.
Beerus is the MacGuffin that kind of is always there but never gets used.
Yeah, he's just the
'Cause
threat of being used.
He only does his thing once in all of Super.
Yeah.
what is his thing? You mean destroying stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a power called they call it Hakai. It's basically like the destruction. Once this is hit, like it will. I don't even think a dragon can bring them back.
To be fair,
Once they're hit with it, they cease to exist. Like people know of them, but they just don't exist. They're not dead. They're just don't exist at all whatsoever.
And he only ends up doing that once in.
There was
Super.
an added scene in Super during this arc when he's on his way to the Kai planet that he stops at another planet and they wind up feeding him and the food was only adequate, so he destroys half the planet.
Yeah.
As opposed to all of it.
I mean, he can like just blow planets up, but yeah, destroyers have like a special other power that just disintegrates you from existence.
I guess it's that thing that gets the egg in the beginning of the movie.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and guess what? One thing that I like that I think Akira Toryiama had confirmed previously is that he's actually a big fan of defeating an enemy and then them coming back and being like a good guy.
Oh yeah,
Because
happens all the time.
Yeah, but the only excuse is, well, he didn't do it with Cell, and he's like, yeah, I kind of feel bad about Cell. I actually did plan on him coming back too, but I don't like drawing all the dots on his body, so that's why he hasn't come back yet.
Well,
Yeah,
also,
but
Cell was evil.
You had 17 and 18 though from the Cell saga.
Yeah.
Became good.
Yeah.
Every saga, Vegeta from the Saiyan saga. You had 18,
Boo.
17. You had Boo.
Yeah, boo.
The Beerus. Broly is now good.
What?
Okay, but Broly deserves it though. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
I don't know
Broly was never bad.
much about Broly.
No, it's never bad, but now Broly's good.
I want to see
even
that movie.
even one of the Gammas is now good.
Yeah,
Gamma 2, I think it was survived.
No, Gamma 2 died.
Oh yeah, it was
Gamma
Gamma
1
1 then. And the doctor that created him is good now too. So like, and Pilaf is good now. So like, it happens all the time in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, this actually put me back on my Dragon Ball kick. I might actually go watch like Resurrection, because I haven't seen Resurrection F, and I haven't seen.
I'd wait, Joe.
Oh yeah, and I
Maybe
haven't seen the Broly movie yet, and I haven't really had a reason to, just because it's like, well, I know Super's over, and I was actually waiting for Super to come back, because the manga's at a good stopping point, like we talked about earlier, for them to actually make like 2 or 3 seasons. But yeah,
I'm sure sure they will.
Even if you don't like Super, the Super show, you can watch Battle of Gods, Frieza, and Broly in one whole thing, and it's its own little story basically.
Superhero as well.
Yeah, superhero as well.
Yeah, you'll pretty much like the movies are canon to the show, but the movies, if you see just the movies, you will pretty much understand everything.
Yep.
And and Broly does catch you up on everything too.
oh cool.
Yeah, the only thing, like, there's some Frieza stuff in one of them that
Broly.
Yeah, in Broly that.
Yeah, like you actually do kind of need to watch Resurrection F to watch Broly.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That
it's all.
doesn't bother me.
Well, it's more so the Tournament of Power than Resurrection F, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or you just go watch the Goku Black arc, and the best arc in all of Super.
I've almost bought that Funko Pop a few different times, even though I had no idea who the hell it really was.
Goku Black.
Oh, the Goku Black
Yeah,
arc.
I knew it wasn't Goku. I knew it was like, I know a little bit like
It's
somebody
Zetsu.
made his form because he was the most powerful or something.
Stole
They
his
made
body.
Broly's story so much better.
Well,
Yeah.
no. So the Goku Black thing is really stupid, Mike. It's just the guy that I like the twist I thought of originally, which was, I thought because Goku Black's in the future and Trunks exists, so I thought Goku Black was fucking Goten. But all of this is just
That's what everybody else thought, and that's what a lot of people, they kind of wish that they had done.
Yeah, instead
Yeah.
it's just some guy who wished he was Goku because he saw how cool Goku was, and it's just
Because
like
Goku kicked his ass.
If you didn't
Yeah,
see what's it called, the super arcs for Frieza and Beerus, you would actually think that, or I thought at least, Goku Black was actually Ginyu, because you never actually see him die unless you watch the Frieza arc for Super.
And you know what?
Oh.
I love that in the Super arc for Resurrection F, that they brought Ginyu back, and they because that was a pretty much a plot hole for ages, for decades. Ginyu is still hopping around as a frog on Earth and is never addressed again. And they actually did address that finally.
I didn't know that. That's actually pretty fucking funny.
Yeah,
I didn't.
EZA, Vegeta steps on him.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
that's in that. But if you ever watch the Cell Saga or the Frieza Saga, because Ginyu's last time he does the body swap, he swaps into a frog and can't talk anymore.
Mhm.
And when everybody gets brought from Namek to Earth, and you see everybody like in like a forest, and they're all like, "Oh, we're all here," and Dende's healing everybody. You see the frog of Ginyu hop, and he hops away, and like that's the last you see of him for decades. So he was always around, but he just doesn't do anything. So to bring him back then, I thought was brilliant. But I think it's only in Super. It's not in the movie.
No, not in the movie.
No,
in the
it's not in the movie.
In the movie, Taguma dies because Frieza's pissed that they suck. Literally. That's literally what it was.
But I thought that was brilliant bringing him back.
Yeah, quick aside, since we were talking about Zamasu. Do you know who voices Zamasu in Super?
No.
No.
No idea.
It is the actor who played Piccolo in Evolution.
Oh, Spike.
James Marsters is freaking.
Yes. He plays he voices Zamasu, but he had to do it because he's a union actor. He did it for free because he was like, I just want to be in something good, Dragon Ball, so I'll do it for free, and I want to voice Zamasu.
He's an awesome guy, by the way. James Marsters.
He
I had the chance to meet him, and I didn't. And I regret it, and he hasn't come to our convention. But he just, from everything I've heard about him, he seems like a really awesome guy.
Wait, so you're telling me that Spike is Goku Black? Okay, thank you for that.
I didn't know that either.
not Goku Black. He's the Kai version of Zamasu. Goku Black is Sean Schimmel, but the other version of Zamasu is James Marsters.
It'll make sense whenever you watch it.
It's
he's under like a pseudonym because they couldn't have his name because of the whole union contract. Yeah.
Oh, was it during the strike?
No,
No.
it was just because he's a Is he a union actor and they're non-union, I believe?
Yeah, I think that's it. If you're a union actor, you're not allowed to work with non-union because unions control and make sure you get paid a fair wage. So in order for you to do something as a non-union, you have to use a fake name. They can't.
Yeah, and he apparently he did it for free. Just was like, hey, I want to be in something good because he's a massive Dragon Ball fan.
Mm-hmm.
He's the reason why Piccolo is green in that movie because Piccolo was originally going to be like a pale white.
Oh,
and he went to the director and was like, no, green. So they went and CG'd Piccolo in that movie to make him green.
That would have made it so much worse.
Speaking of which, too, I have a very much a soft spot for all the Dragon Ball voice actors. They're all like really sweet, cute people. I'm always glad whenever as much as I hate to admit it too, a lot of the reason why I didn't watch Super originally is because people kept spoiling what was happening, and they're like, "Oh, watch Super," and I'm like, I legitimately want to wait for the English dub because that whole cast is still the same cast from when I was a kid, so it doesn't feel right watching it in Japanese personally.
Well, it's hard when you have like an anime that you watch as a kid, like Cowboy Bebop. I can't watch it but dub because I grew up with that.
There's a sub of Cowboy Bebop.
I know, right?
I didn't know that existed.
Same Outlaw Star. I have to have it. I need those voices because that's what I grew up with. So
yeah, that sounds weird.
See, I was able to watch Super subbed, even though I prefer my anime dubbed, just because I wanted to see new Dragon Ball. But then when it came dubbed, I watched it with my wife because she was like, "Oh, I want to see it now," and so I rewatched it again, and it was so much better for me dubbed because those are the characters I knew.
Honestly, I couldn't get used to having to watch it subbed because the only way I could watch it when I first started watching Super with the Tournament Power stuff was on my phone, not knowing what Crunchyroll or Funimation was at the time. So I had to watch it a certain way, but I could only watch it subbed.
I used to watch on YouTube. Someone did like fan subs and all that.
Yeah, that's me with Gundam Seed because they went and replaced all the original dub actors. And I love all the dub actors. It's the fact that they completely butchered the translation on a lot of the characters' names in the new dub. And so I cannot watch the new dub anymore. I have to watch that in Japanese.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, how do you butcher names when you're being paid to say them? Like,
I don't know how they did it, but like one of the characters' her name is Lacus Klein. Well, in the new dub, it is Lacus.
Wow, that's
when that movie came out last week, I'm like, yep, saying that in Japanese.
So Funimation that dubs all this stuff, obviously, that dubs a bunch of other stuff and anime, blah blah blah, is located in Texas. And my sister, when she lived in Texas and she worked at GameStop, she said that a guy came in and he was looking very specifically for an All Might Funko Pop, and it was actually Chris Sabat, and he did the voice for everyone and everything. And my sister was like, "It's so cool. I don't know what else he was in, and it's whatever." And I told my sister, I'm like, "Dude, you're just gonna be so fucking mad when I tell you." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "That's Vegeta, dude." And she got so mad because Vegeta's also Piccolo too, but Vegeta's her favorite character. And she's like, "Oh, if I had known that, I would have got him to sign something." I'm like, "You could have asked." Like, he does everything, dude.
He's Shenron in this movie.
Oh, he's also Shenron in this movie. It's
when we went to New York Comic Con one year, and they had the cast. They had the Sean Schemmel, Chris Sabat, they had Beerus, they had Whis, Bulma was there, and it was just fantastic just watching them just do the voices and just do funny scenes between them all, and they were all just wonderful people, and it was great. My wife got Beerus's autograph, so it's like, yeah, it's perfect. It all comes full circle. All because of Battle of Gods.
It's nice when you find out celebrities aren't assholes too. When I met Ashley Eckstein, the voice of Ahsoka, she had to have the guy that did Anakin's voice sign something. He's like, "We all can't be perfect," and he just said it, and I just heard Anakin, and she just gave him a look, and I was like, "That's perfect."
Oh crap! What is his name?
I forget his name. I didn't have him sign anything because I didn't have an Anakin pop at the time. Now I do.
He's in. There was a CBS show a few years ago called Timeless, and he was one of the main characters in that. And I'm watching this and just going like, this is really freaking weird because all I hear is Anakin.
You mean Matt Lanter?
Matt Lanter, yes. Yeah, Timeless is a pretty good show. It was a CBS show about, I don't know, 5-8 years ago. He's really good in it.
The only person I met from Dragon Ball was Vic, and I pissed him off.
What'd you tell him?
I did the same thing that pissed off Sean Schemmel back in the day.
What's that?
Asking what they thought of DBZA.
Really?
Yeah, he was pissed. It pissed him off. I know Bulma and and Chris Sabat love it or like it, but I know Sean and Vic hate it.
Oh, Vic,
Like passionately hate it.
Vic Mignogna can suck every fucking fiber of my asshole. That guy's like.
There's another Damian Clark who voiced Cell. He was the TFS guys were like, we met him one time. He's like, I don't know if I'm allowed to watch your thing, but I hear it's good. And then they said the next year when they met him, he was like, oh yeah, I talked to Sabat. Like he said, go ahead and watch it. He said, I love it. And then he proceeded to give Taka a bunch of pointers for voicing Cell.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else more that you guys want to mention about this movie before we go to Shelf Stacker Box?
I'm good.
I can't think of anything.
All right.
Okay, wait. Really quick.
Sure, please.
Why is it Super Saiyan God? Why can't it just be Saiyan God? That part pisses me off really quick.
Because it sells more tickets?
But it's not Super Saiyan.
No, but marketing is what I'm guessing.
It's a Japanese thing too.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It sells more tickets. I mean, that sounds like something that would be to me like marketing. Like, hey, this sounds better.
And then they ruined it with Blue.
Blue is fine.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Blue, really.
You'll see.
But
Blue,
Yeah.
I hate Blue.
But I love Blue Evolution.
okay. All right, let's go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Joe, since this was your pick, why don't you go first?
Oh, most definitely Shelf. I actually think I'm going to refuse to, if I do get back into Super, because honestly, it's kind of put me on a Dragon Ball Z kick now.
Same.
Michael Tin, you bastard. But I had a lot of good time with this movie. I watched it by myself, ironically, and completely sober, and I was just like having a good time. I guess it just also brought back a lot of memories too. So I put this on the shelf. I'd probably watch it again if I really wanted to.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm going to put this on the shelf also. I really enjoyed this movie. It just was a fun film. I watched it 1.5 times. I could have watched it again. I just didn't have time, but it's really fun. I just wish it wasn't just on... I wish I could have found it streaming other than YouTube, so I would have had subtitles. I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But that's not the movie's fault. That's
Hey, you know what? Pay $10 for it now to put it on your shelf for real with a physical DVD, and then you can put on subtitles.
Tempting to add. I'm actually tempted to order it because like $10, I'm completely fine with. I just didn't. When I Googled it like a couple weeks ago, or not Googled, but when on Amazon, the cheapest I saw was like $27. I'm like, I am not spending $27 for this, but I'll spend 10 in a heart. Like, yeah, I might actually go buy it because I did enjoy it.
I think I saw it at Target for like $15, double packed with Resurrection F.
Okay, I gotta go to Target anyway tomorrow. So I'll look. If I would buy it for that because I'm gonna cover Resurrection F probably sooner than later.
That's $7.50 a movie.
Yeah, I'm good with that, and 2 good movies. So
good luck finding movies at Target.
they're getting their physical media. Like, what's that? Well, good news, world. When physical media goes away, sailing. What's that? Haha, nothing, pirate.
They robbed me of one of the only reasons I ever went into Best Buy was to look at movies. I don't go to Best Buy anymore.
You shouldn't go to Best Buy in the first place because Best Buy is shitty. So
they had steelbooks.
I will admit, I do think that the Crunchyroll has all the movies on there except for this one. Like I said, because I think
no.
I think because the anime.
They have
I know they have Super because I know they have the other anime movies on there. But I'm looking now
because I looked last night and I didn't see any of the movies on there.
Oh shit! Okay, maybe I'm wrong then.
But I could have missed it too. I don't know.
Yeah, they could have. There could be some. I mean, this is like what Joe was telling me. It's on the anime, so it doesn't make sense to have the movie too.
And you can't get it because I was going to rent it off like Amazon. It's not on there.
You can't.
Okay, so you have to go to Crunchyroll and search Dragon Ball movies because Super's on there. Actually, funny enough, besides this one, all of them are on there. Superhero, Brawly, Resurrection F, Dragon Ball Z, Wrath of the Dragon, Fusion Reborn.
Oh.
They have Bio Brawly and Brawly Second Coming, BoJack, Android 13. Yeah, they've got all the fucking Dragon Ball Z movies. Everything except for
16, I think, altogether. Maybe there's more than that. No.
Even weirder though, it's all of them except for this one, which is weird.
Does it also have like the Trunks and Bardock specials?
I think those are in the TV show because I see Return of Cooler, Super 13, BoJack, all the Brawlies, and
could be because wasn't this one released by Fox originally in theaters?
It does have the 20th Century Fox at the beginning.
Because the other ones don't have that.
Oh,
that's weird.
I mean, that could make sense. I mean, it doesn't take much to make something unavailable. So, and Barry, what about you?
Off shelf, of course. This movie will always be special to me because it got my wife into Dragon Ball and she loves it. So, and it was the return of Dragon Ball in America. So, absolutely shelf. I will gladly watch this again, and I can't wait to show it to my son.
Okay. And John?
Oh, it's shelf. It's super fun movie. I like it way more now than I did when I originally watched it. I did not care for it when I originally watched it. But yeah, it's definitely show. I will probably try to find a copy of it soon.
Okay. And Mario.
I'm actually going to stack it only because, yes, it is a great movie. Yes, it brought me back to Dragon Ball. It is my least favorite of the 4 newest ones.
Okay.
Fair.
Same.
Fair,
yeah,
fair.
I would agree with that.
I would agree with that too. I don't know. Resurrection F did do my boy Gohan really dirty though, so I don't know.
The manga did him worse. Or the anime, I mean.
Oh, the super version, yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them sucked, but
Yeah.
thankfully he gets better from there.
Funny enough, I don't know if you knew this, Mike, either. I don't know if you knew this either, Mike. So Super is actually written by Toriyama's son, who likes Gohan, and that's why Gohan's the main character of that movie.
That's cool. Gohan should be. Gohan's a great character.
It was supposed to be.
Goku should, he's had enough time. Like, we can move on from Goku.
Well, that's the fandom's fault. The Buu saga at the beginning of Z, or whatever that arc is called, because Goku's supposed to be based off Sun Wukong, and it's supposed to be a passing of the torch, but everyone got because no one watched Dragon Ball. All the Dragon Ball Z fans hated the Gohan arc because that's what it was supposed to be. It was just Dragon Ball for Gohan. Everyone got mad, so he's like, "Fine, I'll bring Goku back, just so y'all shut up."
Yeah.
That's because people are stupid.
Yep, and they made Gohan a new power, and he was kicking Boo's butt. But it's like, no, it has to be Goku. Goku has to come save the day again.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch Dragon Ball. I will say that. Go watch Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball's good. I think it's better than Z.
I wouldn't go that far. Well, that's it. Okay, Dragon Ball's a different flavor than Z.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it just depends. I mean, I like Dragon Ball when I watched all of it, but
And it's been a very long time since I have seen Dragon Ball. I keep thinking of going back and watching it, but I also keep thinking of going back and watching Naruto and Bleach. So I'm probably never going to do any of
The
them.
weirdest thing about Dragon Ball, if you go now and go back and watch the movies, I have a real hard problem watching the Dragon Ball movies because it's a completely different cast that are there. It sounds so weird. Like they never redubbed the movies, so Goku sounds completely off. Everyone sounds off. It's really hard to watch them.
Oh, I'll show you a weird sounding Goku. Give me like 15 minutes.
Don't do it.
We won't still be here in 15 minutes. So.
Oh, is that the there is a weird sounding Goku, and I can't remember what dub it is from, but it is, holy crap, it is special.
After looking at Crunchyroll, I can't believe every movie but this, like what Joe said, is on there.
It has to be because of the Fox thing.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense. Because Disney's probably like, fuck you. So, somehow. Because Disney.
Is it on Disney Plus?
No.
Okay, I was about to say that would be.
That'd be fine. Like, okay, like you have
funny.
rights to it. You're like, okay, you want to stream? That's fine.
Or is it on? It's not on Hulu.
That's
either.
right. That's why there was the whole thing a few months ago that people were worried about Disney because they had the Fox rights to the movie, and they're like, "Oh no, there's fake images going up that you see a young Goku in like Moana style freaking art."
Oh no, that's Dragon Ball. That's an actual series.
No, not Daima. I'm not talking about Daima. I'm talking. Literally a few years ago. There was a whole thing that people were worried about because I forgot who put it up, but somebody put up the fact that Disney owns the rights to the Dragon Ball, what's it called? The releases for the movies because of Fox, because they bought out Fox. And Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods was released in America through Fox.
Yeah, so they have some type of rights to it then.
And then everyone was having a shitstorm because somebody released a fake like 3D image style young Goku looking like he belonged in Moana.
Oh yeah, because people jump to conclusions on the internet all the time.
There's some of those like people make like fan art for like this anime but Studio Ghibli style or something.
Yeah,
some of those look awesome.
The image didn't look bad. I will say it didn't look that bad. But I was like, still, no. There's
one for Naruto that I'm actually kind of bummed we will never get because that style looks so cool.
Okay. I need you to keep that in mind. I will show you it is a bad Naruto design, and it is an actual cover for a Blu-ray box cover.
That's for the movie. Oh my god, is so I can't believe that one got past the.
All right, we're gonna start. We're gonna go to plugs. And Barry, where can people find you at?
You can find me at premiumeditiongames.com, where we release physical versions of digital-only titles for the Switch, PS4, and PS5. You can also find me at nintendofuse.com, where I do a bi-weekly podcast every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. or every other Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We do that live on YouTube and nintendofuse.com, so come check us out. And you can find me on Twitter at Hawk Hellfire.
Right. And John, where can we find you at?
You can sometimes, rarely, find me over on Commander Lionheart's channel doing something with him. That's pretty much it.
Okay. And Mario.
You can find me on my channel Biased Gaming on Facebook for both my podcast and my cosplay stuff I do. And you can also find me on Spotify, Apple Sound, things like that.
Okay.
For Biased Gaming. But the next, and I release episodes whenever. Literally, I just do them whenever this time feels right. Like the next one I'm doing is Resident Evil Revelations on the 31st of this month.
Revelations.
Sorry, Joe. Revelations. Sorry.
Thank you. That's the right name for that game.
I mean, I'm playing on the Switch, so it kind of feels like that version.
I can't imagine releasing stuff not on a weekly basis, but that's me.
Look, I got Downcoming to be a thing. I will get Revelations to become a thing.
Yes, you did get Downcoming to be a thing. We're doing Homecoming this year. And somebody made a joke in the comments. He's like, I thought Downcoming would be next. I'm like,
Yeah.
All because you said it accidentally, and then we just ran with it.
I didn't say it accidentally. I did it on purpose.
No, you said it. I'm pretty sure it was accident the first time you said it. I don't think you meant to. And then we ran with it. But I don't know. Go listen to our episodes. If you enjoyed the show, there's over 600 other episodes of everything we've done. You can search our whole catalog on Podbean. You just type in Batman, type in Dragon Ball Z. You will see some other stuff. You also see links to the other content that we have done of Dragon Ball Z, which isn't much, unfortunately, in the show notes. Definitely go check that out. You want to support the show? We do a Patreon for a little $1. You can join our Patreon vote. We have polls every month, so please do that. Support the show and help choose what happens on the show and make me happy. So. And please join our Discord. Just link in the show notes to that. We're always happy to have new people join the Discord. I want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Fear. You can follow her on TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram. You'll see a link to her link tree. And I want to give a shout out to Bill Tucker at A Gamer Looks at 40. I think go check him out. And check out No Men's Fantasy, Nintendo main podcast. And check out Let's Play Princess on Twitch. Just to shout out a few friends of the show. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, and rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. And that's everything I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Have a good one.
Goodbye.